right, so here we go. So my first statement, price is your single greatest differentiator for the product or service that you provide. It matters. And I always ask this question when I do this kind of discussion with folks, and I say to most of the people in the room, you know, you consider yourselves a price buyer? Yes, no?
No, I'm not.
Okay. But if I ask you, how do you think your customers perceive you, what do you usually say? They're a price buyer, right? Okay. So,
I think it's the one thing people understand is the value of money. And so when you're introducing any new concept, before they can get on board with that, they've got to get past the idea of the money which they already value.
right, but I would argue the reverse is what's true. If you haven't created the value, it won't matter what your price is.
I agree with it.
Okay? So you have to create the value, and then the price issue goes away. And that is missed on so many folks that get involved, whether they're owners or salespeople or marketing people, that gets lost. So your price point needs to be very reflective of the value that you offer. You know, you can make an argument that almost any product on the planet is a commodity. Like if I said to you, I have a pair of shoes I could sell you for $3, would you buy them? Why?
No, there's not a need. It has to be a need for me.
Okay, that's me, but let's say you have a need for shoes, and I say, I've got shoes for $3. Would you be interested?
I'll be interested in anything if it's costing this.
Okay, my shoes only come in small, medium, and large,
Okay, still interested?
okay, and they only go on the left foot.
No, I'm not interested in that.
Okay, so my point here is that your price ought to reflect the value of what you're offering, okay? And for, I would say, every business that I've ever dealt with, the size of the business is such that you don't need this massive amount of volume to make your business work. None of you are General Motors, none of you are Walmart, none of you are Microsoft. Okay? The amount of volume you need to make your business work is not a substantial number, which means you're catering to a very small niche of customers in the marketplace that you serve. And because of that, you can stand firm on what it is that you bring for value and what you need to charge for it. So the next two line items I've got up here, these are usually the generic statements, and you can add more that go with them, but when you think of something as being low in price, usually your first reaction amongst others is it's probably cheap, it's probably of poor quality, it probably won't last very long, it's probably not going to have very good service behind it, there's probably no warranty for the product, right? These are all the things that you usually associate with low price. On the flip side, when you look at a product that appears to be higher priced than equivalent competitors or that kind of thing, you begin to make some assumptions about it. There's probably more of an elite product or service, it probably has higher quality, there may be outstanding service behind it, it'll have a full warranty, those kinds of things. So price really does matter, and it creates a perception. And I use this example all the time. You know, Ford and Jaguar both make cars. Most Fords sell for about 25 grand, most Jaguars sell for 80. They both get you from point A to point B, but yet why do some people be willing to pay $80,000 for a car and others only 25? It matters, okay? So keep that in mind when you're thinking about your own business. And then my last statement down here, I'm gonna read some things off, tell me which one doesn't belong. I've got the best price, I've got the best service, the highest quality, the shortest lead time, and the lowest price. Which one doesn't belong? Lowest price. Lowest price. Yet how many of you have been caught in that situation when you're either selling your product or service, or someone has given you a testimonial on what you do, and they say all those things, oh, wow, I couldn't believe how cheap it was to buy. They've just destroyed all of the credibility that they built for you, okay? Okay, so like I was talking about before, for all of us, we are probably in a pretty narrow competitive niche. In other words, again, the amount of customers and clients we need on a regular basis in this scheme of things is very small, okay? So you need to understand who your competition is, and there are two types of competition. I could do this one as a whole topic. There's your direct competition, and like Lou, in your business, you can name me probably 3 or 4 direct competitors,
Yes.
but go ahead and name a couple.
Yeah, I brand